What's happening, sports fans? Trent the Great talking that sport-ish on my little funky-ass YouTube channel, man. And I want to talk about today's hot topic, which is Eric Reid called out Jay-Z for collaborating with the NFL and for looking for a majority ownership interest. Now, let's jump off into this one. This is a tricky and touchy subject, man. And what I mean by that is it's hard to lean one way or the other. Because these are brothers and these are black men, and as such am I. But this is a perfect time where I wish I had a podcast where I could get other views from some different cats and see what their views are, how they feel about it, what they think. But I'm gonna just start it off like this, I'm what you call a final destination type of person. And what I mean by that is the journey might be tough along the way, but it's all about where you end up. And if Jay-Z doing this, it's like I said, it's gonna be rocky or whatever, a bumpy road. But if in the end he can get there and take care of his business, then I guess it'll be all worth it. But I'll kind of elaborate on that in a few. Eric Reid said that Jay's deal with the league is despicable to him. But my brother, you still play for the league. And I know this your job. I know this your chosen profession. But the same thing you complaining to Jay about is the same thing that you working for. And also, from my understanding, he and Colin Kaepernick wind up getting a settlement from the league. And I'm pretty sure in that settlement there's like a non-disclosure, because the NFL, they them people, they have like maybe 20 attorneys. And that's a small number from my understanding. So they're gonna dot all their I's and cross all their T's. But so I'm pretty sure that they had a non-disclosure. You're not supposed to really talk about certain things that pertain to that settlement, or possibly even anything with the league. At least far as like a disrespect thing, as they might feel. I don't know. But we'll see. But I digress, because like I said earlier, this is a touchy subject. Eric Reid, for those that don't know this brother, he played and kneeled with Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick is the guy who started this whole kneeling controversy, and the guy who's been blackballed, whiteball, because ain't no black owners in the league. That's what Jay-Z trying to do. It's all white owners, and it's 32 of them, and they all white. 31, because I think you got one that's of foreign descent. But anyway, he ain't black. But Kaepernick has been whiteballed from the league. Anyway, now Eric Reid has been adamant about Colin Kaepernick getting a job in the league when all these bums. They hired people who ain't played in the league in 5 years, 3 years. They've been on TV, and they just bringing them all back and giving them shots, and they stinking up the joint, But Eric Reid and a lot of other people, they really, like I said, they're adamant. He's adamant, along with a lot of other people, are adamant about Colin getting back into the league, getting a job in the league, when he's clearly better than probably half the quarterbacks in the league. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, that's not gonna happen. It just like Colin and look like he didn't sacrifice his career for this stance. I don't think that was his intent. I don't think that he knew this was gonna happen. I don't think he thought this was gonna happen. I don't think most people thought this was gonna happen. You come out and you take a stand, you do what the First Amendment says you can do, and then you get all this backlash and everything goes haywire and they change the narrative. Now, President Trump is the person that did really more of he really helped change the narrative about that, from kneeling to being, what they call it, out of line or something. Well, anyway, President Trump called out the owners for players who were kneeling. And the owners acted like old Cap never existed after that. They were already on the fence about bringing him back anyway because of the uproar that came with his kneeling during the national anthem. And that anybody knows that national anthem, of course, you got Old Glory and the flag waving. Now, I've always been told that that flag means different things for different people. For a lot of people of color, you know, they might connect it with slavery or being kept down or whatever, you know. But for people who not, especially white people, they look at it as how people have served and died for this country. Well, that's all fair, you know, and everybody has their own opinion, and this ain't no politic place, so I ain't gonna jump off into that, at least not yet. But the NFL also pushed Reid out of the league for a little while. His ass didn't have a job. Then he wound up getting another job. And when he came back, you know, he was still kneeling. And he wound up trying to get into it with this cat, man, and you know, had an issue with, I think it was Malcolm Jenkins. He had a problem with him, because Malcolm Jenkins was a protest. They call him the anthem protest. And they felt like he was protesting, and Reid didn't like that. You know, Malcolm Jenkins decided not to protest anymore, and he took a payoff from the league, at least what Reid said, and tried to fight him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, damn, you know, bring the streets into the league, huh? God damn it. Anyway, Eric Reid, from my understanding, is still kneeling. And you fast forward a year or two, and now here we are. Now, as far as Jay-Z, it's important to note that Jay asked other black celebrities who were from Atlanta not to participate in the NFL's festivities, especially the Super Bowl halftime show when the Super Bowl was in Atlanta. I think it maybe a year ago or a few years ago or something like that. Now I see how it looks, because you tell people not to do business with the league. You tell them not to do this. You tell them not to take their money, and you turn right around and take their money and do business with them. I mean, it's not a good look for Jay, at least on the surface. Now, in Jay-Z's defense, I would say like this: Jay has a very good record as far as social justice issues. His work and efforts, as well as his philanthropy, are second to none. Because, you know, if Jay, like all the reports, as well as my sources say, which are TV, becomes not only but the first and only black majority owner in the NFL, then that can help more than it can hinder. Now, what I mean by that is he can do more harm than good. And he can do more good for brothers and sisters in a community of minorities, and do more in a league that is 75% black. Now, that's a crazy number, man, because you got a league that is 3/4 black, but not only, you got a league that's 3/4 black, but not one black owner. I mean, can you say, you know, what you call it? Disadvantage? This, no, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. And the cold part about it is that a certain percentage a certain percentage of the owners have to vote you in, and they can vote your ass out. You know, but who knows? Maybe Jay changed his mind. I mean, that's possible, and he decided that this is the path that is best chosen. This is the path that's best walked. You know, and sometimes when you walk a path like this, you know, you could get hit. I mean, like they used to do in the old days. You walk that line and you done something that most people don't like. They throw stones at you. You know what I'm saying? Spit on you. You know, you ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? You lousy something. You ain't worth a damn. I mean, it treats you bad, but you know in your heart of heart what you're doing is right. Now, Jay, he had to know by taking this path that he would get detractors, naysayers, doubters, and people who flat out disagree with him, a la Eric Reid. You know what I'm saying? But to kind of touch on that, like what I was saying earlier, man, it's a touchy subject. And like I say, man, you got two brothers who really, I think in the end, are looking for the same thing, you know, and that's Well, I don't know. There's so many things out there, because like last year, the last couple of years, you had one group in the NFL that was fighting for this. You had another group in the NFL that was fighting for that, and they was fighting over who was gonna lead and who was gonna follow. I mean, it was just that was like that whole thing with Eric Reid and Malcolm Jenkins, and Reid felt like Jenkins hijacked the whole issue and he was taking over, and they felt like Kaepernick is the one who should be the leader. But we ain't nobody hearing nothing from Kaepernick. He not stepping up and saying, hey, this is what I need to say. This is what I need to do. This is what I like. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people would follow that brother. You know what I'm saying? Or at least listen to him and hear what he has to say, because we've heard him in a few times before in a speech I think he did at the ESPYs, I think. And it was very passionate, well written, well spoken, and he's definitely somebody to be at least checked out. If you don't want to listen to him or respect him, but he's somebody to be just kind of like, well, let me check this guy out, because his heart, I'm pretty sure his heart was in a good place. His heart is probably still in a good place. Now he's made some mistakes along the way, and with for the El Castro, I think it was, something like that. The pig shoes, pig socks he wore. See, all that kind of stuff, it helps to fan the flames. And Eric Reid, God bless him, but he's looking at it, I think, like, well, what about Cap? Cap got to have a job. Cap had to have a job. You can't make them people hiring. You know what I'm saying? We're not hearing from Cap, so it's like I said, man, it's just a touchy subject, man, and it's very tricky. Something that, like I said, you can't lean one way or the other on. It's one of those hot button topics that that it's just kind of hard to agree with one brother or another. Even more, I think you couldn't. And that's the problem in our community. You don't necessarily have to just agree. I don't really want to have to agree with either one. I think I can agree with some parts of what Jay has said and done, and some parts of what Eric Reid has done, because that's really what it is. And I can disagree with both sides. And I don't know, man. We're gonna keep an eye on this situation, and I'm gonna update it, because I'm sure that this ain't the end of it. But I'm Trent the Great, man, talking that sport-ish. On my little funk ass YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Leave me some comments. Hit me up on Facebook or Twitter. Eventually, I'm going to get with you on them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just get at me and let me know. Appreciate the support and love. And once again, I'm out. One.